And yeah, I blocked you because you disgust me. It's the only thing. It's one thing to yell at a pedophile. It's a whole other one to be you and jerk off to drawings of literal children.
They'll give advice on how they think that they can improve the project from a narrative perspective or whatever. Like, if you've ever...
And they put a chick in it and make it gay. Okay, and that's what they do.
Basically...
Gamergate thing happened all those years ago, I'm gonna side with all the racists and the Nazis and stuff like that, because they seem to think I'm a really cool guy.
I don't even know where to start with that, other than the fact that he genuinely thought he was doing something there. And it's really great that he's that stupid.
So here we have Tipster. This is how all the beef started. Boogie2988, becoming the quartering ripoff, wasn't on my 2024 bingo card, but it should have been. He's lost a lot of relevancy in recent years. This is a really weird comment to make, especially considering that Boogie... I mean, yeah, it's very true. He's lost a lot of relevancy in these past few years. However, his relevancy is peaking again, arguably, because of all the local live stuff happening, right? So he's actually on an upward trend for the first time in, like, forever. So, you know, just weird. By the way, Tipster, you have been on a downward trend for quite a while, okay, buddy? So I don't know why you're saying this. What's up, Mel Dude? And his bank account is looking rather empty these days, and being the lovable Mr. Rogers character of the internet, where it isn't working anymore because people got a chance to see behind the current good. I mean, he's just taking all the fucking... He's literally just taking all the commentary community's talking points and repeating them here, right? Like, it's so fucking transparent. He just took what Turkey Tom said in his video about Boogie and just repeating it here to try and, like, get a dunk on him. It's just... It's so transparent. I'm on the wrong thing. Whoopsies. I'm retarded, bro. Not to mention the fact that the anti-woke grift is extremely profitable. I can imagine seeing the folks like the Quartering and Melanie Mac rake in mountains of cash on that grift looks rather appealing. He has been with a career on life support. Those only current claim to fame is being the co-host of a podcast hosted by Keemstar, where they're there just for the purpose of being mocked by everyone for the internet for being a lolcow. Yo, thank you, Critical Shogun. Holy shit, you're the GOAT, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Super fucking generous, man. Have a great night, dude. Have a great night, obviously. Yeah. Yeah, dude, the cancerous donation sound I haven't fixed yet is going to play. Okay. But hey, anything for a quick buck and a taste of clout, eh, Boogie? By the way, he's criticizing Boogie for having a podcast with Keemstar when, like, literally fucking... Do you guys remember when Tipster would fucking, like, dick suck? When Dick Suck Keemstar and have him on his show, he'd be like, oh, Tipster, do you want to come on and chat about this? Or no, he'd be like, Keemstar, please come on and chat about this, please. Oh, that's not the bad one. Okay.
I'm gonna call it tonight, but have a good thumbs
good night.
Up. STRM.
He'd be like, oh my god, Keemstar, do you want to come on and talk about this? Like, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? You know, completely just loser behavior. You're trying to get Keemstar on for them clicks. And now, of course, he has to dunk on him. He has to be the cool guy. But hey, anything for a click buck and a taste of clout, eh, Boogie? Even if it means siding with some of the worst people on the internet. By the way, Tipster is currently siding with Keffel's proven scammer. I'm not, like, it's not even really alleged at this point. Proven scammer, proven, like, borderline predator, sending fucking HRT and hormones to children, saying keep out of reach of parents, you know. But yeah, it's Boogie who's siding with the worst people on the internet. Good to hear. Glad to know all the kind words and encouraging messages you tried to deliver in your videos in the past didn't mean shit. It was all just a facade of trying to convince everyone that you're somehow the good guy of the internet. Hope for your sake the grift is worth it, Boogie. By the way, this is just... I know I'm fucking, like, I'm raving on about this tweet right now, but it is just so, it's so rich coming from Tipster, because, I mean, he's literally admitted that him joining commentary was a grift, right? Because he's like, oh, I don't agree with anything I said when I was in commentary. I've done all this bad stuff. I, like, harassed Susie Lou. It's just, like, he literally admitted basically everything he did when he was in commentary was a grift so he could grow his channel and, like, be a part of the commentary community. And now that once he's out of it, he wants to call other people out for grifting, even though he was, like, the biggest grifter for the longest time. And, yeah. And he could still be grifting now. I don't know. He's retarded if he thinks that his current grift is working. So we have these two clips.
Around for the last Gamergate. And if you guys remember, I was a bit of a notorious fence sitter during that period of time. I hated people being harassed online. I hated seeing people
Yo, let's go. Boogie hates harassment. Wow.
arguing online about this stuff. And I did feel like there was improvement the way that we as content creators and writers and gaming companies could do a better job of calling out corruption in the industry and improving the way that we reported video games. And I'll tell you where that got me. It got me utterly cucked by Anita Sarkeesian, chewed up by the left, and spit the fuck out.
Okay. Wow.
At the end of the day, I set the last one out, and I felt like I was on the wrong side of history there. And it certainly didn't serve me well. So gamers, I've been granted.
By the way, the thing that Tipster is defending here is Sweet Baby Inc. Okay, if you don't know what Sweet Baby Inc. is, basically the whole controversy, the whole lore there is like there's this like cancerous fucking company called Sweet Baby Inc. that like their narrative directory or some gay shit like that, and their whole thing is they bully video game companies into making games with like black people and like gay people. Oh my god, it's so diverse, blah blah blah. It is like actually the gayest thing ever, and it makes me want to kill myself watching it. This is the stuff that Tipster's defending, though. He's defending Sweet Baby Inc., including the black blind girl in Spider-Man that just objectively made the game less fun. Like, oh my god, yo, holy shit! Teddy, Gamergate's 2 greatest soldier is Boogie2988. True, dude. Very true. Boogie just kind of has that Gamergate look, you know. Black Theft Auto. True. Thank you. Jesus, bro.
Gamergate 2's greatest soldier is Boogie2988.
Thank you, Boogie2988. Thank you, Francis. Tipster, glad to see you stop defending Vosh and his lolly porn and horse rape fantasies long enough to type this. But no, dude, he just completely rapes him. It's over. It's Jover, dude. It's over. He's raped. But no, unlike you, a person who gets ejected from commentary community, go to fly false rainbow flags, I am no grifter. You are a perfect example of the type of person whose politics should stay far away from video games. I don't want you and your pedophilic shit anywhere near them. Politely go fuck yourself. Just completely raped. Who ghost wrote this tweet for you, Boogie? Because we both know you're a spineless coward. Like you didn't do it. Let me remind everyone of your original response to my tweet was. Yeah, complaining about blocking. It's just so stupid. Complaining about blocking while Tipster literally has me blocked on like on 2 accounts. That's crazy. Oh, and you want to talk about pedophiles? Aren't you the guy who literally shared a table with actual pedophile to chow down on Doritos and Mountain Dew? What did ADP 445 get caught doing again? Oh yeah, trying to meet with a 13-year-old girl for sex. Keep up the good. You keep good company, Boogie. So I mean, here we have this, and I mean, like the conversation. I guess it's a fair point of criticism, but the conversation isn't even really released yet, right? It's so stupid. The rape apocalypse continues. I think that Tipster's community is sort of in a constant state of rapeocaly. A rapeoc. I can't even say that word, dude. I'm retarded. Breaking bread with a pedo. You sided with the literal Nazis and bigots in Gamergate. Damn, Boogie. Literally not. Okay, dude. I just can't with fucking. Why? When did Tipster get so soy? I mean, I know when. It's when he started sucking Kevil's dick, but. Jesus Christ. And by the way, this is the same guy. Hold up. Can I not? Okay, there we go. Same guy, literally in his pinned tweet. Purity testing and mob justice on the online left doesn't work and never will. Complain about purity testing while he's calling everyone he disagrees with a Nazi. I mean, it's comedy. It's comedy. It really is. Let's Sheriff Change. This will be on the right side of history time. Goes well for you. And all those friendly Gamergators don't chew you up and spit you out the way Anita Sarkeesian did, and you crying like a little bitch at VidCon. Because we all know anti-woke grifters won't turn on you in the moment you realize how pathetic you really are. I mean, at least, in fairness to Boogie, at least he fucking showed up for VidCon, right? Tipster has literally never showed up for an IRL event ever, out of fear of someone taking a picture of him, bro. I mean, how fucking sad is that? He has never showed up to an event ever out of fear of getting a picture taken of him. I mean, just gold stuff, dude. I got paid by Mike Klum to go scream at a pedophile he is exposing. When someone exposes your ass, though, I will do it for free. I mean, okay. Listen here, guys. We can't be boogie heads all the time. we can't be boogie. I can't think of a funny name. Boog guys. Okay, we can't be boogie guys all the time. Okay, because this is kind of retarded. EDP has already been thoroughly exposed. Okay, he does not need any more exposing. Whatever Mike Klum is doing with this documentary, I'm sure it'll be good, but I doubt it's going to expose him more than he already is, you know? And yeah, I blocked you because you disgust me. It's the only thing. It's one thing to yell at a pedophile. It's a whole other one to be you and jerk off to drawings of literal children. Okay. This is so nuclear, dude. He's like, you jerk off to literal children. Not the lolly tipster. We all know what you have on that hard drive, buddy, okay? Literal. When I'm done putting you in your place, I will likely block you again. And no one wrote my tweets for me. I have a ton of friends who would. The only friend you have left is Keffels. But wait, didn't she throw you under the bus for defending Vosh? Great friend. Damn. Dude. It's never been more over, dude. And you call... But I don't need help to destroy someone as pathetic and disgusting as you. And you call me a grifter? Didn't you fail as a gaming creator, join the commentary community, then fail at that to grift to the Rainbow Coalition? Dude, these are bangers, bro. I do low-key doubt that Boogie wrote these. I'm not gonna lie, okay? I think Tipster was right when he said someone ghost wrote these, because it just doesn't sound like Boogie, you know? I feel like if this was Boogie, it'd sound like way more retarded. This is coming from the guy who went from sexually harassing e-girls to now sexually harassing trans girls. Jesus Christ. Genuinely and wholeheartedly, I hope you choose to chemically castrate yourself rather than defend vetoes. Banger. I mean, to be fair, I doubt Tipster's getting it on, okay? He's probably already castrated, just not chemically. I don't expect sympathy from anyone when the Gamergate crowds turn on you, because they will turn on you, and when they do, no one will feel bad for you. You thought Anita Sarkeesian being rude to you at VidCon was bad? It will be hell of a lot worse for them. You made your bed. I hope you're prepared to sleep in it now. Remember when Tipster cried? Because we're all like, hey, Tipster, you know, Keffel, like, doesn't have the best track record, and she's probably going to turn on you at some point. And he was like, no, she would never. She would never. I mean, in fairness, I guess it took a while for her to turn on her, but he's literally making the same argument at Boogie right now, where he's like, when all those Nazi friends you made turn on you, don't come crying to me. Shut up, dude. You fucking suck. Okay, and then that's it there. That was the initial tweet argument. Now we have Tipster's video on the matter. We gotta speed this up, because Tipster is fucking... He's just... I'll put it at 1.5. He is just fucking awful to listen to. But yeah, we'll watch his entire video here, because I'm pretty sure he plays Boogie's entire video within here as well, so we don't have to watch both.
I'm sure a lot of you guys...
By the way, so cringe, man. Why does he have Vosh in the... Okay, whatever.
In my chat are familiar with a content creator known as Boogie2988. Do we have some Boogie on the soundboard? I think we do.
They'll never caught me.
We do. We absolutely have Boogie on the soundboard. So what do you...
Wow. Dude, it's just so sad.
Talking about a content creator known as Boogie2988, because recently he decided to do something very interesting that I did not see coming. Now, you guys may know, not too long ago, I talked about Gamergate 2, this whole thing with, what is it, Sweet Baby Inc. or whatever. I kind of gave my thoughts on it. I did get a little bit of pushback, some people saying that I'm not really well informed on the topic. So I've done, I've watched some videos from both sides of the argument, and I don't think I was too far off.
Big Tip has done the research, okay? He has delved deep into the topic of Sweet Baby Inc., and he's come up with the conclusion that minority's good. Minorities are good, guys. I mean, wow. How informed.
I'm being completely honest, although during the course of this topic, I will kind of address some things that I might have missed in my previous coverage. But either way, I have my thoughts on it, and I pretty much stand by the thoughts that I gave before in my previous video. I think this is a nothing burger. I think it's not all that big of a deal. And I think it's insane to try and revive the ashes of Gamergate over this stupid shit. Yet here we are. But in any case, Boogie decided to chime in with his thoughts on Gamergate 2, and apparently he's decided that this time around he's going to join the fray. Oh shit! Oh shit! Because last time, and I'm just basic.
Dude. The oh shit. It's funny, but not the way Boogie wants it to be funny, right? It's so funny because of how fucking misplaced it is and how fucking cringe it is to have this like old ass dude that like the backwards cap go, oh shit, oh shit. It's oh my god.
I'm paraphrasing what he said, but he said something along the lines of he was a fence sitter last time, and he tried to pander to like leftists and stuff like that the last time around, and it didn't do him any good. So now he's going to be on the quote right side of history. That's what he says. If you don't believe me, we'll see it in a little bit. But in any case, he tweeted this out yesterday at the time of this recording. Hot take, video games are supposed to be fun. I actually agree. Video games are supposed to be fun. And a lot of video games are fun. There's a few stinkers that get released, or maybe games that aren't just my cup of tea. But for the most part, video games are fun, and they are meant to be fun. So video games are supposed to be fun, not lectures about why being a white man is bad. Now, I have to be honest with you guys, chat. I can't remember ever playing a video game that lectured me on how being a white man is bad. Can I get some...
Okay, I mean, just fucking... Tipster is being intentionally fucking retarded here, okay? I mean, obviously not... Like, there's... People pointed to that one video game. It's like the one about, like, being a Native American and, like, you have to kill all the white people or some shit. That's on Steam. It's, like, called Native or something. Like, that video game is unironically about white people being bad. But there's not, like, a big issue of, like, video games being released where, like, the direct message is white people are bad. But there is a lot of fucking video games being released where it has, like, a fuck ton of just blatant politics, like, not subtle at all, just completely misplaced within the story, completely jarring to the experience, and it is dog shit, okay? And that's the point Boogie's making here. But Tipster is just intentionally, being, like, facetious, Jesus Christ, and like not understand, or he's just that retarded. I don't know. But I mean, Boogie's point here is that like he's just being hyperbolic of the fact that there's a ton of politics in video games, and a lot of those politics are very blunt and are misplaced within the story.
Ones in the chat, if you've ever played a video game that lectured you on how being a white man is bad, because I don't think I've ever played a game that does that, and it's looking like my chat agrees with me on that because I'm
bro. 3 people typed in chat. Oh, sorry, 4. 4 people typed in chat saying that they... My chat agrees with me, actually. How many of these... Yeah, 3 people typed in chat, 2 of which are mod. Wow.
I'm not seeing any ones. I'm seeing a lot of 2s. And a lot of nopes and stuff like that. But like, I'm not seeing any one. So something tells me that Boogie might have pulled that out of his ass. But in any case, he says, watch this on my channel if you want a more nuanced take on this tweet. Gamergate 2 is officialed. Sweet Baby Inc. versus Elon Musk. So let's go ahead. I have the video pulled up here. This is the video in question. And we're going to watch it. And we're going to kind of give our thoughts as we go along. So without further ado.
Yes, the big Tippy's thoughts.
Here we go, chat.
Well, gamers, grab your Mountain Dew.
Okay, looks like I need to boost the audio just a bit. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. Here we go. That should be better.
Lock and load your controllers. Gamergate 2 has officially begun. And who's leading the clapback this time? Is it just some random neckbeard on the internet like me? No, it's Elon freaking Musk. And you might be asking, who is Elon squaring off against?
Is it some
Anita Sarkeesian
king of Twitter.
No, it's Homeland Security. I'm going to break this video down into 2 parts to get people caught up to speed as to exactly what's happening and why it's happening. And secondly, as an old head who lived through the first Gamergate and in fact made quite a few mistakes during the first Gamergate, I want to talk about my opinion on what's probably going to happen here. And
I remember for me, the first Gamergate, when that happened or whatever, like I remember hearing a lot of content creators talking about it and gaming journalism outlets talking about it and stuff, but I didn't really understand what it was at the time. It wasn't something until like later on that I kind of like looked into it and found out what it was. And I was like, oh man, this is like pretty shitty. On the surface, it sounds like, something that would be good. Ethics and games journalism. That's the way they framed it. We're just trying to have ethics and games.
Here's the reality, okay, about Gamergate. Lots of retarded women like to bitch about being being women. Okay, they like to act like it's super hard. They like to act like it's a super difficult task to just be a woman. And that's just not the reality, okay? That's Gamergate summarized for all you guys at home, okay?
Journalism. And then when you actually see what it became, like this whole like harassment campaign against like women in gaming and stuff like that, it was a fucking like mess. So yeah, I'm kind of
harassment campaign.
I'm kind of glad I had no involvement in that the first time around because it just sounds like a fucking mess.
We should be doing. Now, all of this starts with a company that you probably never heard of, known as Sweet Baby Incorporated, which in their own words is a narrative development and consultation studio based in Montreal and working around the globe. Their mission is to tell better, more empathetic stories while diversifying and enriching the video games industry.
Who the fuck wants that? Who wants... God, dude.
games more engaging, more fun, more meaningful, and more inclusive for everyone. Spoiler alert, they mostly failed to do so. Now, right
this is what's like crazy to me, right? Okay, so first of all, like if you're not familiar with Sweet Baby Inc., obviously he read their description of themselves off their website, but they're a consulting firm, okay? Like that's kind of what they are. Companies can hire them to kind of evaluate their current progress on a project, and they can kind of like give advice like any other consulting firm will do. They'll evaluate things, they'll give advice on how they think that they can improve the project from a narrative perspective or whatever. Like if you've ever...
And they put a chick in it and make it gay, okay? That's what they do.
Basically, had...
It's literally... Dude, it's literally like that one fucking South Park clip where Cartman is like the chick or whatever. He goes, put a chick in it and make it gay. Okay, that's literally all this fucking dog shit ass company does. Literally wasting the time of fucking game dev studios. Okay, it's just so stupid. And then like also, I don't know if you guys have been like following this super closely, but like there's this like interview that's come out, right? It's like one of the co-founders, Sweet Baby Inc., where she's like talking about like methods of fucking bullying of bullying your fucking like if you're like hypothetically an employee at a game studio, there's like methods of like bullying your fucking higher ups into hiring a company like this to include more diversity into the game and just waste resources, make everything worse. Okay,
your employer, or maybe you're an employer yourself and you've worked with a consulting firm, like this is what they do. You know, they'll consult whatever you're hiring them to look at. They'll give you advice, and it's up to you whether you take the advice or not. And this is like an optional thing. Okay, like you choose to hire these firms to help you with these various different things. And in this case,
yeah, but there's literal interviews of the co-founder of this company talking about how to bully your suit, like talking about how to bully the higher ups of game companies into hiring consulting firms such as this to include more diversity. Doesn't seem like much of a choice at that point, does it, Tipster? Doesn't seem like much of a choice.
A consulting firm to help with, you know, narratives of video games and stuff like that. And like a lot of times they're helping with like diversity and inclusion in games, things of that nature. Obviously, the anti-woke crowd, not big fans of this stuff. Me personally, I don't give a shit. As long as the game's fun to play, I don't really care if they, you know, do this kind of stuff during the creation of the game. As long as it's fun, like, I don't give a fuck. But in any case, here's some of the games that they've worked on. Alan Wake, God of War.
Yeah, obviously. Dude, Tipster is so big brain here. God, he's so fucking annoying, man. Obviously, if the game is fun and there's like a gay person in it, who the fuck cares? The point is that oftentimes the diversity and the inclusivity is very jarring to the experience because it just doesn't fit narratively at all, right? Like it's just so stupid. Like it just doesn't fit in the draw. It just doesn't fit, you know? And that's why it's so jarring to see it half the time.
Ragnarok, you know, there's some pretty noteworthy games here, very successful games as well. So when I see a lot of people talking about how like, oh, well, if Sweet Baby Inc. is involved in your game, like it's like doomed to fail. It's like, well, no, there's been several successful games that they've worked on and it doesn't really hurt anything. So I don't get it, right? Like it just seems kind of dumb. But anyway.
Here on their website, you'll see a list of games that they have worked on. And this is important later, so take a big note. But you'll see that some of these games have been too big to fail. God of War, Ragnarok, you know.
That sounds like a Coke to me, okay? If you're trying to sell me on this idea that this company, anything they touch turns to shit, okay? If that's what you want to sell me on, that they're bad for the games industry.
No, it just makes it... Okay. It just makes it worse, okay? Like, you don't think that God of Ragnarok is going to be a big seller? No, okay? But, like, I don't play video games. I don't know if there's, like, a ton of woke shit in these, right? But...
because everything they touch turns to shit. You can't tell me a cope like, oh, you know, these games, they were too big to fail. You know, yeah, they were involved in this and they did some horrible things in these games, but they were too big to fail. Like, come on. All right. You're already arguing against your own point here. Okay.
To the original God of War, Alan Wake 2, sequel to the original Alan Wake, Spider-Man 2, too big to fail. And some other games on here are some real stinkers, like Suicide Squad, where they worked on the script writing, the banter, the cutscenes.
That's what's funny is like, so he's saying like Alan Wake 2, God of War, Ragnarok, Spider-Man 2. He's saying these games were too big to fail. But then he's talking about how like Suicide Squad was a stinker, which I hear it is.
We're barely into this fucking Tipster upload right now. So actually you've gained... by not watching Tipster, you've actually probably gained something. Okay, that's you did not miss anything.
Pretty bad game. I didn't play it myself. It wasn't something I was interested in. But pretty much everybody I know who's played it, they've said, yeah, it's a pretty bad game. But here's the thing: why are these big name titles, Alan Wake 2, God of War, Ragnarok, Spider-Man 2, why were these ones quote too big to fail? But another big title that was also very, very big, it was a big production and a big production house behind it. There was a lot of hype behind the game, and it ended up being a shitty game. Why wasn't Suicide Squad too big to fail?
Because is Suicide Squad like That's not. I think because that's not an established game series, right? It's like Spider-Man. Like they've already had like the one super successful game, Ragnarok. I mean, Ragnarok. It's literally in the name. Alan Wake 2, the second game. Ragnarok, another sequel. Suicide Squad is just like the first. I think it's the first Suicide Squad game, right? I think that'd be the argument. But I don't fucking know. I don't know anything about video games. Okay, all I know about this. By the way, they're supposed to be. Supposedly, they're a narrative consulting firm, right? When like. To my understanding, in the Suicide Squad game, there's like tons of fucking wrong things in like the lore and shit. I don't remember specifically, but I'm pretty sure there was like something fucked up in the description of like Green Lantern's description was like really fucked up and like the lore was wrong. Like King Shark, there was like some scene where he uses the Green Lantern ring and like he like made sharks, but like a super important thing to like the Green Lantern character is that like he's not supposed to be able to create living matter, right? And I mean it's just so stupid that supposedly they hire this like super awesome consulting firm, but they like what they do nothing and they don't point out these obvious mistakes, right? Okay.
Because again, it's cope, and I know what my chat wants, and I'm going to give it to them.
You are coping and
These games are too big to fail, but Suicide Squad wasn't too big to fail.
Oh my fucking god! Can we not play the song? Chud's Discord. Oh,
No, like yeah, this is a legitimate like bad game. A lot of people would agree that it's a bad game, but like to make the argument that like any game that these people touch just turns to shit, it's clearly not true because we have several examples here that are just fine.
I fucking hate
Jesus
everyone.
Christ,
Anyway.
what am I looking at?
You know, the things that make Suicide Squad utterly fail. Meanwhile, over here on Steam, you'll see these curation pages.
The watermelon Twitter. Dude, watermelon Twitter is so mad right now, guys. Watermelon Twitter is so mad. I'm pretty sure Queeman tweeted out something like, "You say this on on like a Chicago street, and you're gonna get a black eye." I think that's unfortunately because they're prone to violence. The watermelon Twitter is. How unfortunate.
Where people can curate lists of games based on all kinds of different things, whether or not they recommend them or don't recommend them, the type of game they are, the type of DRM they use. And this user decided to create a list of games based on games that Sweet Baby Incorporated had worked on. That way, you know, if you've had a good experience with this company in the past, you could play that game based on that recommendation. And if you've had a bad experience in the past, you can choose to avoid that game. And this is
That's bullshit, okay? Like, the notion that someone would, oh, you know, I played a Sweet Baby Inc. game and it was good, and so this list was created for people who might want to play other Sweet Baby Inc. games. Come on, Boogie. We know what the reason was that this curated list was created. It was purely created because, like, hey, you know, Sweet Baby Inc., they do woke games, and we don't want woke games, so here's a list of all the games that they make. So
I'm going to be watching this.
Like, nobody.
Right when it comes out, the Dark Viper AU stream from Chet and Logic. I have work early in the morning, so I'm going to be watching. Yeah, actually, I start work at like 5:30, so I'll be right on time for this. Very hyped. Everybody go watch this when you have the chance.
Nobody's using this list to be like, yo, I had a positive experience with a Sweet Baby Inc. game, so I want to use this list to play other games of theirs. Come on.
here to inform the consumer. Well, eventually, the Steam group caught the attention of Chris Kendrick, who works for Sweet Baby Incorporated. And
the Collective in the chat says it's the right-wing blacklist. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's what the intent of this list is. And I think it's like, I mean, at the end of the day, if somebody wants to create a list because they're like, oh man, my woke video games, you should not, whatever, make your little list. It's whatever. But like, even so, like, it's, I think we can agree that it's kind of cringe though. Like, why do you care so much whether like a company worked on a game or if you don't want to play the game?
Because they objectively just make it worse, right? Like, it's just like noticing a trend, right? Like, why do people make lists of like companies that are involved in like child slavery in China and other fucking third world countries, right? Why do people make those lists, Tipster? Oh, it's probably because some people don't want to support those companies, right? Is that cringe?
Don't play the game, but it just seems like lame to make such a big deal about, like, how is this any different than heels versus babyface getting worked up over like pronouns in a game? You know, this is just the next level extension of that. Anyway,
just tweeted out saying that there was a harassment.
What do you mean Twitter traction? What is that? Am I retarded?
Group dedicated to harassing Sweet Baby Incorporated, and that it obviously doesn't adhere to Steam's policies and code of conduct. And she encouraged people to report the hell out of the group in the hopes that it would get taken down. And while you're at
it, I will say this, okay? I actually do have some criticism to give the folks over at Sweet Baby Inc. This right here, basically like signal boosting, like a tweet, like, hey, go and flag this shit or whatever. This was really dumb, okay? Like, if you're dealing with legitimate harassment, like, you know, doxings and swatting threats and, you know, like actual forms of harassment, like, just report that shit and don't say anything about it. Just quietly to yourself. If you are facing legitimate forms of harassment, report it and then just move on. But like anytime that you do these like mass report, like, hey,
Yeah, advise some tipster, by the way. The guy who literally fucking spurgs out, the guy who had Salvo Pancakes on stream to fucking debate him. The guy who literally basically jump-started Salvo Pancakes' career in the commentary community by falling for his bait and getting like trolled and like getting trolled super fucking hard is telling people to just ignore the harassment. Great advice, tipster. Maybe you should try and take it sometime.
You know what? Can you guys all report like this page for me? You know, this massive following that I have. Can you go and report these people because they're like harassing me or whatever? Like, you're just asking for trouble at that point. Okay. We've seen what happened.
Yeah. Also, tipster doesn't have an issue with the fundamental issue of like, you know, you shouldn't report people just because they disagree with your opinions. No. His issue is that it's just a bad idea for you. Okay. He actually, I want to see tipster's flagging history after this. He actually thinks it's A-okay to report people who are, quote, harassing you. It's just, yeah. Tipster is just
during the first round of Gamergate and people doing posts like this. And even if you feel justified or not in doing it, it's just, you're just, we know how these people operate. When they see these mass flagging campaigns, they're going to attack people who do that. So just don't do that. Just, if somebody's legitimately harassing you, just silently report it and move on. Okay. That's all I have to say about that. This was kind of dumb.
Why don't you report this guy, the guy who created this consumer advocacy list, report his account that he spent all his time and all this money on to see if you can get that taken away from him as well. And again, because he was informing consumers. Now, you remember earlier when we were taking a look at the Sweet Baby website, I pointed out that they list the games that they have worked on right on their website. So if they're doing that themselves, are they harassing themselves? How could it possibly be harassment to copy paste this list of games that they've posted themselves?
Very good point.
Over on Steam. That it's nonsensical, and it's definitely not worth somebody losing their Steam account over. Now, obviously, gamers didn't like that, but you know who else didn't? Twitter. Twitter fed Chris a 6-day ban for targeted harassment. The thing that Chris was actually doing, the thing that, you know, she was accusing others of doing and decided to do herself. Meanwhile, we have...
Yeah, I mean, if you're asking people to mass report shit like that, like you're using a large platform to do something like that, like, yeah, that can be interpreted as a form of targeted harassment. So again, my criticism to Sweet Baby Inc., that wasn't smart. They shouldn't have done that.
What
the fuck?
My criticism to you're using a large platform to
of doing and decided to do herself. Meanwhile, we have...
Yeah, I mean, if you're asking people to mass report shit like that, like you're using a large platform to do something like that, like, yeah, that can be interpreted as a form of targeted harassment. So again, my criticism to Sweet Baby Inc., that wasn't smart. They shouldn't have done that.
Butts, who I presume you remember from the first Gamergate. If
even from a, you know, public facing perspective, like a PR sort of thing, it's just not a good look, and it's just going to result in people feeling like they have more justification to harass you. Just don't do it. Don't do this. Don't do these massive call outs for mass flagging campaigns of this nature. Just don't do it.
Just don't do it, guys. No. Don't do it. Bad idea.
For it, pointing out that Steam doesn't, you know, force people to prove that a game has been worked on by Sweet Baby Incorporated, and that might be why it should get taken down. This got community noted by the fact that, number one, Lego Butts works for Sweet Baby Incorporated and probably shouldn't be trusted on this particular topic, and that secondly, the curator literally uses that games list that they have on their website that I showed you early to, you know, prove that these are the games they've worked on. And allow me to interject some editorial here. Why are these guys afraid of people listing the games they've worked on to begin with? If you've done good work and you're proud of the work you've done, someone listing all the games you've worked on should be doing you a favor, right? Unless, of course, you know the work you're putting in is bad and it's ruined some of the...
I mean, like to some extent, like you have people who will see lists like this and they'll use them as an excuse to target game developers who have worked with Sweet Baby Inc., target, you know, Sweet Baby Inc. directly. They'll do things like, you know, review bomb any games that they've worked on and stuff like that. And these are things that can be genuinely harmful to the developers and stuff like that. So I can understand why they would be upset about this curated list that, as somebody in the chat mentioned earlier, it's basically...
Maybe they shouldn't just publish Maybe they shouldn't just publish what every game they work on then. Problem solved. Wow. It's a crazy concept, but if they're the ones putting out the information, it's the only avenue this Steam group is getting the information from is their own website. Maybe they should just stop putting out the information and then, hey, everything goes away. I mean, wow, dude. But it's really bad harassment, okay? It's terrible harassment they're facing. So much so that they can't change their own website to stop it.
A blacklist by right-wing gamers and stuff like that. So I can understand why they would be upset about this list. I still don't think they should have done the whole call out for like a mass report thing or whatever. That definitely shouldn't have happened. But I understand why they would be frustrated about the existence of this list.
Games that could have been better, then you probably don't want people curating that list. I think they know what they're doing. Now, due to the Streisand effect, all of this caused that curated list to bloom over 100K, now 250K people on that list supporting this cause. And as people dug around, they found this, the co-founder of Sweet Baby Incorporated, basically saying that they bully people into...
Oh yeah, this is what I was talking about earlier. This fucking clip, dude. This is an insane clip.
This type of stuff in their games. Here, I'll let her speak.
Like, this person is like fucking demented.
If you're a creative working in AAA, which I did for many, many years, put this stuff up to your higher ups. And if they don't see the value in what you're asking for, when you ask for consultants, when you ask for research, Go have a coffee with your marketing team and just terrify them with the possibility of what's going to happen if they don't give you what you want.
I don't think it's ever a good look to say that your company is based on.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know what the context is of that clip. I don't know if anybody has
Then
found.
look it up, you fat fuck. Okay, I watched Chud Logic watch the entire interview. Okay, so I know the full context, and it doesn't make it any better. Okay.
Like the full clip, because that clip's been making the rounds, and yeah, admittedly, in its current context, it does look pretty bad for sure. But if anybody has like the full clip of that, I'd be more than happy to take a look at it. Oh
yeah, so when Boogie2988 is talking to EDP4 for 5, there's no context needed. You can just completely dunk on him. He's bad for eating with a pedophile or something. But when this person is literally saying, go bully your higher ups into making your game more shitty by adding diversity or whatever. Well, maybe we need a little more context to that. Okay. All right, Tipster. All right.
I don't know what the context is, so I can't really comment too much on that.
On wielding cancel culture to get big companies to pay you. But if at least you're providing a valuable service, I guess that might be at least conceivable. But if you wonder what kind of service Sweet Baby Incorporated is trying to provide, well, look at these tweets from Felix that we spoke about earlier. Pay me to shoot down your white male lead game ideas. I had a nightmare that I was a white male gamer. Yeah, it's pretty abundantly clear that they're not there to add diversity to games. They're there to push white people and white males.
See, somebody in the chat says that's just normal corporation stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty normal for like various different corporations to hire like consultancy firms and stuff like that to evaluate various different things. That's why I don't think this like Sweet Baby thing is like as big of an issue. I do think it was a bad idea.
But you literally have this person right here going, bully your higher ups and add it. Okay, whatever, dude. It's just
for them to try and mass report.
The only thing more Down syndrome than Tipster is a Tipster chatter. That's what I've noticed.
The Steam user and the Steam curated list. But as far as like what the company's actually doing, like I don't give a shit. I don't care.
Out. Then you got the old media stepping in. This is game developer, writer by the name of Brian Francis, who says, Steam and Discord are being used as a home base for hateful reactionaries to single out and harass game developers. Why are Valve and Discord permitting harassment against Sweet Baby Incorporated? And again, the harassment Bryant is so upset about is that someone copy and pasted from the Sweet Baby Incorporated website the list of games they've worked on so that you can...
You're talking about the woman talking at the marketing thing? Yeah, but
you can hate Boogie all you want, okay? I think it's 50-50 whether he's grifting here. But he's just correct, okay? Even if you're grifting and you're saying things for facetious reasons, you can just be correct, okay? And yeah.
Like, I've tried to find like the full clip. I haven't had any luck finding the full clip, unfortunately. So I don't know what the full context is of that. It's very obvious that it was clip chimped in some way. But I would like to see the full clip to have like a better...
It's very obvious it was clip chimped. Wow, dude.
Idea of like what was actually being said there. If I had to guess, it was probably something along the lines of like, hey, say you're working for a developer studio and they do something along the lines of like really badly represent a minority group in games, for example.
That's not what they were saying. They were saying, okay, dude, I can't even get into it right now. That's not what they were saying at all. Okay. She literally just said, oh, and if you want more diversity in your games, just go have a cold transition. Okay. God, this guy is so stupid. He can't.
Trying to like express your concerns to your higher ups, like, hey, this is actually pretty bad, and this can get our company a lot of pushback if we don't fix this. Why don't we fix this? And if they don't take your concerns seriously, then basically go to the next level up and say, hey, my supervisor's not taking my concerns seriously on this. We might want to hire a consultancy firm to take a look at this and actually fix basically the issues that they have here. I would guess that was probably something along the lines of what was being said, but obviously I haven't seen the full clip.
People in the game. Gotta add more.
So
not enough women.
On my point.
Women are
an informed decision whether or not you want to support the games that they've worked on. I mean, I guess in Brian's article, he does point out that at one point there was a forum on that curation group where a lot of people, a handful of bad actors, said some crazy shit, but the curator just got rid of those forums. So there's nothing that could possibly be harassment.
I mean, that's good if he got rid of the forums, but at the same time, that's a clear example of how people were using that, curated list.
Dude, this Tipster is so fucking retarded. The conversation we're having right now, because of this article, is whether the Steam group should be removed because they're harassing people, okay? And then Boogie2988 points out that, hey, maybe they're having this fucking... Or he points out that, like, hey, even when there was some harassment going on, they took it down immediately. And Tipster goes, well, I mean, that just proves there was harassment going on, though, right? No, it proves that the Steam group has nothing to do with the harassment and that they're just providing like information that is publicly available somewhere else. Okay. God.
As a tool for
way too many
harassment.
Women.
They were using it as a jumping off point to harass game developers, Sweet Baby Inc., et cetera, et cetera.
Page, right? It's just a list of games. But here's where things get entirely off the rails. This group named Take This, which, after getting looked into, found out they were being funded by Homeland Security here in the United States. Posted an article called Responding to Gamergate 2, saying Gamergate 2 is the latest targeting harassment campaign within the games industry, and it's aimed at Sweet Baby Incorporated, and that all scholars and journalists and game developers must do everything they can to shut down Gamergate 2 and denounce the gamers who don't want to buy games that have been worked on by this company. There's your smoking gun. The Department of Homeland Security funding an organization that just fired the warning shot. The Gamergate 2 is coming, and we need to make sure that every gamer knows they have to buy the games worked on by Sweet Baby Incorporated, or else they're the bad guys. Am I taking crazy pills? You can't even blame the gamers this time.
Nobody's even saying, like, if you don't want to play a game made by Sweet Baby Inc., like, it's kind of cringe, but like, whatever, just don't play the fucking game. Nobody gives a shit if you choose to buy a game or not, right? The issue here is that people are making a big deal about, you know, games going woke or whatever. It's like, oh man, this game features a black main protagonist, or this game features gay characters, or this game features trans characters. It's like, does that really ruin the game for you? We saw
It doesn't. Okay, dude, Tipster is so stupid. It doesn't ruin the game, okay, if there's just a gay character or a black character, okay? What ruins a game is if you're telling a story and you insert random nonsense that completely fucking, like, derails the story, takes you out of the story, makes it narratively 100 times worse, because you have to go, like, you have to go be the black deaf girl and Spider-Man and do all these retarded missions, okay? That's what makes it worse. The existence of just like a gay character or a black character, literally, it's nothing. Okay, like, okay, think about like Brawl Stars. Does anyone know Brawl Stars? Brawl Stars is like it's literally a mobile game. Okay, and in that character, there's tons of like black gay characters, and there's even a character in a wheelchair. Okay, but like there's literally no. It's just not paid attention to really in the lore, because the lore has nothing to do with these characters being gay or being in a wheelchair. They just are, okay? And we don't have to fucking point at it and go, oh my god, they're just there, okay? Nobody has an issue with it because it's not fucking shoved down your throat. They just exist, okay?
a perfect example of this last year with the infamous fucking pronouns meme.
Fucking pronouns!
Somebody got so ass mad about a game just having a pronoun selection option, okay? It's fucking cringe. In no way, shape, or form do these things make a game bad. Now, I will say that sometimes you will have games that will try to pander to a specific section of the audience, and they'll force this shit in a way that, yeah, it does negatively impact the game. But I would go as far as to say 90% of all games that feature some kind of, woke element within them, they're fine. They're perfectly fine, and it doesn't hurt the game at all.
It's Homeland Security! Holy shit! Now, of course, we saw the old guard from the first Gamergate dust off their pitchforks. We saw Mark Kern, the guy who worked at Blizzard there, Grums, on Twitter. Here in this interview with The Quartering, he went on to explain that basically the way the games are getting made is they're extremely expensive. Huge companies have to come up with the money, and one of the best ways to come up with the money is your CFO can get you tax breaks based on working with companies that do this forced diversity stuff to make sure you can fund your game.
Is that true? That's kind of insane, bro.
By the way, you remember I mentioned...
I mean, a lot of companies get a lot of tax breaks for a lot of different things. Some companies, depending on where the company is based, you might get a tax break based off of the fact that if you do a formal...
Okay, what does that have to do with what he just said, though? What is... Okay, what the fuck? I think it's fair to point out that it's concerning that the government is basically allowing people to not pay... They give people tax breaks because they have diversity in their game, right? The existence of other tax breaks doesn't make that less weird, right?
Sexual harassment training at your workplace. If you get your, there's various different things that companies can do to get these tax breaks. This is not some nefarious thing or whatever. It's a pretty common thing in business.
Why is it? Oh, it makes sense why you would have tax breaks for sexual harassment training, because that would lead to generally less sexual harassment. It doesn't make sense why you would have these diversity tax breaks, because what does that provide to anyone? What service does that provide? More gay people in the game? It literally just provides a worse experience, okay?
Here in the United States.
Elon Musk? Well, this is where Elon Musk signal boosted this by retweeting it simply by saying, wow. And this got it in front of 5.4.
I don't know why so many people put so much stock in anything Elon Musk has to say, especially after that insane interview where he looked like he was just hyped up on some kind of he was.
Why do people put so much stock into what Elon Musk has to say? I don't know. Maybe because he's a billionaire, owner of Tesla, owner of Twitter /X, the website literally everybody uses. No matter how you feel about him, it's very apparent why people pay attention to him, okay? He's a very popular guy.
He was intoxicated in some way the whole time. Do you guys remember that interview where he wasn't speaking coherently?
You guys remember those numerous live streams where Tipster went on and was visibly drunk and throwing all over himself? Why would anybody take Tipster seriously when he's just throwing up over himself all the time and acting like a total retard 24/7? Oh wait, actually nobody takes Tipster seriously because like he's fucking irrelevant and he's not nearly as big as Elon Musk, you know.
Like in any way, shape, or form. Why do people put so much stock in a guy who's clearly fucking insane? I don't get it.
Million eyes.
Okay.
So we're off to the races officially with
it's
Discord.
just so good.
Then you got people like Matt Walsh chiming in and say what you will about Matt Walsh, but this is one take of the breakdown of
He's citing Matt Walsh? Boogie.
No.
You're fucking citing Matt Walsh in your Gamergate 2 video?
Oh my god. He literally, dude, nothing is good enough for these fucking people, okay? He literally said, no matter how you feel about Matt Walsh, blah, 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 blah. And then dude Tipster's like, what? He's citing Matt Walsh? He literally fucking prefaced it by saying, no matter how you feel about him, even like fucking insane people can be right about some things, okay? Even like the most fucking alt-right insane, like Nick Fuentes right here, okay? Nick Fuentes can be right occasionally, okay? He's not like infinitely wrong all the time.
Am I in fucking clown world right now? Like, what the fuck is going on?
Quote, wokeness, end quote, in gaming. But this also got signal boosted by Elon Musk, this time to 17.8 million viewers. Okay. So there's now way more people involved. And Elon Musk says video games need to get rid of the woke BS. Getting lectured with tedious propaganda is not why people play games. Now for my opinions. I was around for the last Gamergate.
Let's go, Boogie.
And if you guys remember, I was a bit of a notorious fence sitter during that period of time. I hated people being harassed online. I hated seeing people arguing online about this stuff. And I did feel like there was improvement the way that we as content creators and writers and gaming companies could do a better job of calling out corruption in the industry and improving the way that we reported video games. And I'll tell you where that got me. It got me utterly cucked by Anita Sarkeesian, chewed up by the left, and spit the fuck out.
Is that what this is about? Is he still ass mad about Anita Sarkeesian being rude to him at, what was it, VidCon like 5 years ago or some shit like that? And keep in mind, look.
Oh my god, that's not what this is about, okay? He literally, this is your pinned tweet, Tipster. He literally made a point about like witch hunts or whatever on the left, and like no, purity testing, that's what it is. Purity testing on the left, and like the thing that you called out, okay, you're an edgy leftist or whatever. He literally just called that out. That is your pinned tweet, Tipster. That's what you have pinned on Twitter. But you know, Tipster is like, oh, you're just ass mad about Anita Sarkeesian. Curious.
I'm not the biggest fan of Anita Sarkeesian, okay? Like, I think some of her methods are a little bit questionable and stuff like that. I'm not a big fan of Anita.
She's
and I do
retarded.
actually think that she was unnecessarily rude to Boogie at VidCon. But, like, is that what this is about? Anita Sarkeesian was mean to you at VidCon, and now you want to side with, like, the worst people on the fucking internet?
No, he literally just said that the left purity tested him, so he left. That is... what? Okay. That is literally what you just... Okay.
And join Gamergate version 2.0?
Yeah, I know.
What kind of fucking shit is this?
I'm not going to make that mistake again. I like most sane people just like fun video games. I don't care if the
Thank you very much.
Jane, so CCC joined the Kuma Nation.
Thank you very much for the Twitch sub. I do appreciate it.
protagonists or the supporting characters are short or tall, fat or skinny, black or white, gay or straight, big tits, small tits, negative tits, 3 dicks, 10 dicks. I don't give a shit. I just play video games to have fun. I'm just here to have fun. Please make a fun video game. I also think diversity can be fun.
I mean, there are plenty of fun games out there that feature diversity. Starfield seemed like a pretty well-received game. Lots of diversity in that game. Look at, what's the other one that everybody was going on about? Oh man, I'm having a brain fart. It's the one that everybody tells me that I should play, and there's like tons of diversity in that game or whatever.
What is this?
Shit, I can't. Baldur's Gate 3, thank you, Emmy. Baldur's Gate 3, fantastic game. Lots of diversity in that game.
Oh, no.
So like...
Why did it open right here?
Hello, everyone. Ended face reveal. Because we're going to go into some information.
Dude, I can't watch this right now. I can't watch this. No fucking way. What is this? No. No. Thanks to Nicholas Dior and Boblox for their coverage and being a huge dumbass. Okay. Maybe we'll watch that later.
Having woke shit in a video game doesn't make it bad. Now, are there some examples where that shit gets forced in a way that it just becomes pandering? Yeah, and that could ruin the experience for sure. But the majority of games that have like...
over here. Oh yeah, I saw this. Tipster video coming on Toastify's channel. Everybody go check that shit out.
Way it feels, some people when they do, there's several...
I can't.
You know, wokeness in them, they're just fine. There's nothing wrong with them. They're perfectly enjoyable. You can still have a lot of fun playing them. This is just cringe. This is just really fucking lame.
Have to take away or detract from the video game. Give me cool character creators with crazy shit.
Talked about
give me
earlier
wild
too,
main
Abby.
characters. Give me storylines of things I would never experience in my own life, and let me experience them.
There are so many games that do that. Countless and countless examples of games that do exactly what you're saying right now, Boogie. And some of these people that you're now aligning yourself with would call those games fucking woke. Like, what are you doing right now, Boogie?
else's eyes, but it's got to be done well, and it's got to be done fun. When I look at the list of games that Sweet Baby has worked on, I don't find any of the diverse storylines in Spider-Man 2.
There's no nuance when it comes to Tipster, okay? Tipster, the guy you're agreeing with, would call those video games woke, okay? Maybe he just has his own opinion. Maybe he has his own thought process. It's crazy.
To be very fun or well done, and we all know what we thought about Suicide Squad, which was just an abomination.
I heard a lot of good things about Spider-Man 2. I didn't play it myself, but of the people that I know who did play it, they seem to have enjoyed it a lot. Like, I don't get it.
Did they enjoy
I think the only people I've ever seen complain about a Spider-Man game, and it's always for like a stupid reason. Remember that Yellow Flash guy who got really up in arms about Miles Morales not being Spider-Man because he's like a minority character?
I mean, yeah, obviously that's retarded. I don't even know why Tipster is talking about Yellow Flash right now. Okay.
Do you remember that shit and how he got blown the fuck out for that? Those are the people you're aligning yourself with now, Boogie.
Oh, you're aligning yourself with them, so you must agree with literally everything they've ever said. Tipster news.
I personally think that curator list is a good thing. I'm going to use it to make informed decisions moving forward. And as it stands right now, because of the behavior of the people that work at that company, plus their track record of the games they've worked on, I'm not inclined to buy anything from Sweet Baby Incorporated. Does that make me some white male gamer harasser?
White nationalist.
Then put me on the guillotine list. I'll sign up right first. I'm ready to go.
What the fuck? Oh my god. What the fuck?
I've been ready to go since the first Gamergate. Put me out of my misery. You're around for the first Gamergate. You know the tools that you use, right? You've heard it all before. Everything is sexist. Everything is racist. Everything is harassment. Call it all out. Shoot everything down.
He's gone all the way into the anti-woke grift at this point. Like, he's basically just a chubbier version of the quartering.
If you don't like...
Bro. Bro. He's a chubbier version of the quartering. Dude, look at you, bro. What is up?
Like it, it's bad, and it must be taken away.
How little self-awareness does Tipster really have?
As long as you're somebody that works at Sweet Baby Incorporated. If you're a consumer like you or me, and you want to have a fun video game, well, then you're the asshole. Oh, and don't forget, if you're a white male gamer, especially an older one like me, it doesn't matter how leftist you are, it doesn't matter how much you support diversity, it doesn't matter how good of an ally you are dog shit on the bottom of these people's heels. Don't you ever forget.
True.
If you choose...
This is literally just about being treated poorly by Anita Sarkeesian at VidCon. That's what this is about. Do you guys remember what he said during... Is there a video of that somewhere? Let me see if I can find that. Because, like, this is, like, the complete opposite of what he said on that panel. Okay, here we go. Let's bring this up so we can see what Boogie had to say back then.
Panel was over, and the moderator said we had about 5 minutes if anybody had any closing statements. So I made a closing statement that took about a minute.
He's, like, trying to get a dunk in right here, bro. But, like, Tipster, you literally got blown out by everybody in the commentary community and have been coping ever since in a similar fashion to this, okay? I don't know why, like, you're pointing at him crying. Tipster, you cry more than anyone I've ever seen online ever, okay, buddy? It really is just unfortunate.
And I said that I wanted to remind everybody in the audience that I am a person of privilege as a white cis male. And then I went over the types of attacks that have happened to me again with the assassins and the boxes of feces and all of that kind of stuff. And then just try to remind the audience that, if whoever you are, if it can happen to me, it can happen to you. And then try to remind everybody that this isn't a matter of identity politics. This is a human rights issue. That I think these types of attacks are human rights violations and that we should all consider that so that we can be unified.
Human rights, bro. Human rights is when I get bullied on the internet.
A couple more panels.
So he was speaking out against, like, Gamergaters at the time, right? And now he's decided he wants to join them.
Wow.
To buy their shitty games, then you are the enemy. And if you inform other people about what games they've worked on, you might very well find your Steam account gone when you wake up in the morning. That's who you're up against. And I think it should be abundantly clear this is not another harassment campaign, and you or nobody should be harassing anybody. We've shown in this video that if you give these people enough time to speak and a platform to do it on, they'll self-destruct on their own. You don't have to do anything but wait. Though I do recommend, if you're somebody who works for their money and has it in their pocket and only wants to spend it on fun video games instead of the games that these people have made, well, I think that's probably the right thing to do as well.
True.
Even though they'll probably still call that harassment. At the end of the day, I set the last one out, and I felt like I was...
Maybe some people deserve harassment. Have we ever... have we considered that some people suck and they deserve harassment?
Wrong side of history there. And it certainly didn't serve me well. So gamers...
You thought you were on the wrong side of history last time, Boogie? Do you know the people who were associated with Gamergate the last time around? They weren't good people. Anybody who knows me in my audience knows that I do not overuse terms like, racists and Nazis and, misogynistic shit like that. I think that there's a lot of people in the online left who do overuse a lot of those types of terms, but like these were literally the kind of people who were associated with Gamergate. You talk all this stuff over the years about how much harassment you've gotten, how you've been swatted, how you've been doxxed, and all these horrible fucking things that have happened to you. And now you've decided that that's the kind of people you want to align yourself with? The kind of people that would do that kind of shit to the targets of the previous Gamergate? You want to align yourself with those kinds of people now, Boogie. You think that that's the right side of history.
It's just so soy, man. Like, he's literally... He literally just called that other, like, the pronouns guy out for, like, having a meltdown over the pronouns of the vegan, which is cringe. Okay, let me be clear, that is cringe. But now he's having a meltdown because you want to side with the Nazis and the racists and the doxers and the swatters. Oh my god! Like, no, I don't think he's doing that. I just think that he has his own opinion, which is crazy. I know, it's insane.
Okay, buddy.
I've been granted a do-over here.
Wasn't one of the people...
Dude,
okay.
that one little rant took... that took the breath out of him, bro. He had to recover.
One of the people that was a big name in Gamergate the first time around was Ethan Ralph. Hasn't Ethan Ralph, like, harassed you numerous times over the years? And now you want to be seen with the likes of people like him, Boogie? What are you doing?
Why,
Ethan Ralph? No!
Security has decided
Not
they're going to give me a chance
Ralph.
to write this particular ship, but I'm going to take it. And I'm going to make sure that I'm on the right side of fun video games and fun, well-written diversity and nowhere else. Guys, as always, thanks for watching. I love you very much, and I will speak with you again soon. And I just realized my career outlasted Anita Sarkeesian's by quite a bit.
W Boogie.
Maybe I won that after all.
Woogie.
Jeez. Anyway, so that's the video that kind of like sparked like this conversation that happened on Twitter in regards to Boogie's interesting take on all of this. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at some of the responses, because initially, like, the tweet where he announced the video was
God, dude. The Xander Hall tweet pulled up. Dude, if I at any point in my life found myself agreeing with Xander Hall on anything even remotely related to politics, I would probably fucking shoot myself.
stupid one. Hot take: video games are supposed to be fun, not lecturing. Lectures about being white, being how being a white man is bad. And so a lot of people started asking, where's the games that do that? Xander Hall chimed in, name one mainstream game that lectures you on why white people are bad. We have the Surfs TV asking pretty much the same question. Which video games lecture you about being a white man being bad?
The Surfs is arguably the only person more retarded than Xander Hall online.
We have this person, Mighty Keith. This is 100% a genuine question from me. What video game does this? Okay. Even I chimed in to ask the question. I'd be interested in knowing which video games lecture players on how being a white man is bad. Can you suggest any, Boogie? Because I haven't seen any. Boogie decided to respond to a lot of these questions by saying stuff like this. Jesus Christ, is it really this easy to upset that beehive? Me, I am a white man and I like video games. The internet, that's not what you
I mean, yeah, he's just I mean, he's being kind of retarded there. Okay, come on now.
said. You made a ridiculous fucking claim about how video games are lecturing white men about how they're
boogie
bad.
Bros, that's what we are. We can't be boogie bros all the fucking time, okay?
Right? And then when people ask you, can you show us an example of a game that does that? You couldn't give us one. He then goes on to cope even more. It's wild getting called alt-right at the moment because I said video games shouldn't shame white men. I literally voted Democrat since I was able to vote. Donated yearly to the Human Rights Campaign, raised money for trans charities, helped start up a game store that was an LGBTQ plus safe zone in Arkansas, was in an interracial relation. Oh my God, this last one's got to be the funniest one. Was in an
Oh my God.
interracial relationship in the South in the 80s and 90s and got my ass beat for simply loving a black woman. My only offense is being a white man who likes video games, and I got lit the fuck up by these people. Like, he's going down, like, the checklist about, like, hey, I can't be a horrible person because I've done all of these things that make me not a horrible person. Yeah, exactly, Transgirl Jade. He literally, I have a black friend. He's literally, I have a black friending us. Yeah, that's literally it, right? Jeez. Somebody else quote tweeted him saying, motherfuckers really try to throw stones and hide their hands. Yeah, true.
What is that even? What?
Then we have this. What is this? This fuzzy person says, yeah, this is a point, though I think there are plenty of people who would still crap on him. But to start a few examples would go a long ways. Basically asking for more examples of games like that.
Boogie was just making a hyperbolic point, and everyone on Twitter went, is there any video game actually like that? No. Okay. The point is I'll just say it again. The point is that in a lot of video games, there's needless politics inserted about, there's just needless politics inserted, and that often takes away from the story, because it just interjects and doesn't make any sense, and it takes you out of the experience.
I make a list of video games with forced diversity and bullshit or not, it doesn't change the simple fact that video games are supposed to be fun, not lectures. Again, not giving any examples and refusing to give any because he knows he's full of shit. Like, you might find some obscure indie game that does something like that, but I guarantee you, you will not find a mainstream title who does that, because let's be real, okay? Let's not make this a woke thing or whatever. Let's just be real for a second. Video game companies make games to make money. Why would they try and intentionally alienate a portion of their audience to make money? It's not going to work. If you insult a portion of your audience, they're not going to buy the game and they're not going to play it. All right? So again, you might find some little niche indie game that does something like that, but you're never going to find a mainstream title that does that. It's counterproductive to their end goal, which is making money. There are a lot of white men who play video games, okay? They're not going to alienate that crowd. Jake,
So
I think video
true.
games are supposed to be fun and not lectures about much of anything, really. The fact you are having trouble agreeing with that is wild to me. It's not so much that, it's that you've chosen to align yourself with genuinely horrible people.
Yeah, Boogie didn't get Boogie didn't have the ghostwriter on these tweets, okay? So they're a little they're a little off the mark, okay, guys? But and trust me, we'll be back on Boogie Bros, okay? We need Keemstar to log back into his account.
Do you not realize the kind of people who you're aligning yourself with at the moment? They're not good people.
Oh my god, you have bad friends. Your friends are bad people. Meanwhile, best friends with Keffels and Xander Hall. Oof.
Chimed in on this because I thought the comments he made, especially in his video, were fucking insane. This is what I had to say. Boogie2988 becoming the quartering ripoff. They're empty these days. And I'm at curtain. God damn it. Don't you hate that when you see like a tweet that you made and it's like beyond the like time frame where you could edit it? God damn it. Fucking typo. Anyway. People got a chance to see behind the curtain and get a goodly profitable. And I can imagine seeing folks like the only current mocked by
I already read this.
even if it delivered the good guy. Somebody actually asked Boogie.
Crazy. By the way, crazy he won't read the response to that. And by the way, somebody, okay, dude, you know who the fuck Chris the Narc is, Tipster. You were at least somewhat friendly with him at some point. Some random Twitter user. I have no idea who Chris the Narc is. It's just so weird. Who is this guy? Okay.
What his thoughts were on my comments. He says, if I pissed off Tipster, it's a good litmus test. I'm on the right track.
True.
Really? I then proceeded to quote tweet him by saying, I'd rather be me than pander to alt-writers like you are. Using libs of TikTok as a source, the person who literally caused a children's hospital to receive bomb threats over her bigoted posts. Yikes, Boogie, you've lost the plot. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. He literally cited, when somebody was asking him for evidence of the claims that he was making, he literally cited libs of fucking TikTok, Jack.
Oh my god, if they were correct, they were correct. Okay, it's unfortunate, I know, but bad people can make good points. All right. Jesus fuck. And I'm not disagreeing with you, okay? Libs of TikTok sucks. Libs of TikTok, they don't suck because they're mean to people online, okay? They suck because they constantly dox people. That's why they suck.
He then says, before I hop off Twitter for a while, I have pissed off a lot of people of color and the LGBTQ folks in the past 24 hours. Know that I still love you and will always fight for you when I can, but it won't change my opinion that video games are meant to be fun and not lectures. I am not sorry about that. Boogie. You're telling people of color and like, you know, LGBTQ plus folks that you love them and you support them while you align yourself with people who are outraged by their existence.
Oh my
while
god. You align yourself. Like, all the Tipster does guilt by association, bro. Is he just like, oh my god, you're doing all this, you're friends with all these bad people. Oh my god.
Yourself with people who are mad that black characters exist in video games, or gay characters exist in video games, or trans characters exist in video games, that there are pronoun selection options in video games. Fucking pronouns! How can you tell these people that you love them and you support them?
I mean, come on, dude. That like, okay, the pronouncing was cringe, but it's such banger content. I don't know why Tipster is so mad about that, dude.
Also, supporting these people.
Like, that guy,
it doesn't.
That guy is funny. Why wouldn't you want to make content with that guy, bro?
Make sense, Boogie. Oh, I was being petty here, but you know what? Fuck it. I'll include this too.
Hey guys, it's me, Francis. And you know, last time this Gamergate thing happened all those years ago, I feel like I was on the wrong side of history. I was just kind of a bit of a fence sitter last time, and so this time, I want to make sure I'm on the right side of history. You know, last time...
Wow, dude, this is such a banger meme. Dude, yeah, this might actually be funny if, like, Tipster wasn't 80 years old and, like, knew how to use, like, AI or something, right? If he could figure out how to use, like, AI and not be, like, a total retard all the time, then maybe this could be funny, you know?
Big meanie Anita Sarkeesian was so mean to me at VidCon, and I didn't like that very much, so this time, I'm gonna side with all the racists and the Nazis and stuff like that, because they seem to think I'm a really cool guy, and they seem to be on the right side of this thing this time, and like I said, I want to be on the right side of history this time around. You know, there was that infamous stream clip of me saying that, you know, at least, you know, racists and Nazis, they stand by what they believe in, and, you know, I'm gonna stand by them this time, because that big bad Anita Sarkeesian was so mean to me at VidCon, how dare her!
Wow.
Oh my god.
I'm dying of laughter here. No homo. Ha 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 ha. This is why I love you, Tipster. Love this. GG, Tippy.
Jesus. You know what clip I'm talking about, by the way? Do you guys know this infamous clip where Boogie was talking about, like, how at least Nazis stand by what they believe in or whatever? Can I find this? Here's the clip. I mean,
could not. That's a good point. At least they're. Actually, no, I take that back. A lot of Nazis, I think, are pretty facetious in how they present themselves and what they actually believe in. Like, Nick Fuentes, he's right up here, so I keep going back to him. But he's not very he is upfront, but he's also not. And like the fact, like when he's talking to new people, he won't like. He'll say things. He'll beat around the bush. You know, he'll beat around the bush a lot. That's something I've noticed with him. When yeah.
Not believe this even back then when he said it. Look at this shit, chat.
I'm going to say as much shit and do as much shit as I can to keep your attention so you don't do it to somebody else. I'm here for you to torture me and only me. I'm going to make a living letting you torture me. I'm going to be the next Darkside Phil. I'm going to be the next Wings of Redemption. I'm going to spend every day online to keep you fucking busy so you don't do it to somebody else. So bring it.
Boogie's a hero, dude. He's the lightning rod that Keffels wished she was.
I want you to know. I think you are the lowest of the low. I think you are the worst of the worst. I think that there are fucking rapists and Nazis out there who, even though they are rapists and fucking Nazis, they are more redeemable than you because at least they're doing something they fucking believe in. They may be pieces of garbage. They may be pieces of shit. They may harm other people, but at least they believe what they fucking stand for. You stand for...
he's still just like copying all the points from Turkey Tom's video.
Nothing.
Despicable.
I still can't believe he fucking said that. That is fucking insane. Oh, God. And you guys may have noticed on one of my previous tweets where I quote tweeted him, actually a couple of my previous tweets where I quote tweeted him, that you couldn't see the tweet I was quote tweeting. Obviously, I showed it to you guys before showing you my quote tweet, but you couldn't see the original tweet I was quote tweeting, when I was showing my quote tweet, right? That's because Boogie couldn't handle my criticism. He couldn't handle the fact that I'm...
No fucking way you're saying that a block equals they can't handle criticism when you have the entire community, community blocked, bro. You have me blocked on 2 accounts. Ninja, what?
Right. You're aligning yourself with really fucked up people, Boogie. And as a result of that, people are shitting all over you on Twitter right now. Oh. So if this is the road you want to go down, if you want to be, an even bigger version of the quartering, like, go right ahead, okay? You do you. I hope the grift is worth it. Maybe it'll make you relevant again. Maybe it'll boost your career again. I'm not really sure, but I hope for your sake it works out because, goddamn, I don't know what you're thinking right now, Boogie, but this is fucking insanity.
Wow, Tipster is just such a good guy. He just wants everything to work out. Let's look at the creators we have here. Keffels, Hassan, Demon Mama, wow, Destiny, Vosh, and I don't know what the fuck. What even is this? What is this creature up here? That's like... Tipstar's more accounts blocked than followers. Probably, dude. Oh my goodness. Okay, and then we have... the big Tippy swinging back. We're not going to watch the entire lolcow live. I will put this on the screen, though. Hold up. So... he was actually invited to come on to lolcow live, but of course, Tipster's not going to come on. Come on, obviously, dude. So, but just so you know, he was invited, but he didn't come on. He didn't debate. So, he's just gay. He couldn't handle my criticism, but I'm actually not going to confront him on my criticism when I'm invited.
After all of this Gamergate stuff started popping off, I decided to have a little fun on Twitter with this tweet here. And a lot of people have asked me, do I stand by this tweet? And
by the way, that tweet, I think it's pretty obvious it was meant to drum up, I agree with Chub Logic, it was meant to drum up controversy and content for the lolcow podcast, right? That's just pretty obvious.
The answer is yes. Video games should be fun. They shouldn't be political lectures of pretty much any type. And whereas almost any sane person should agree with this tweet, a lot of people got hung up with the last couple of words. And most of the replies were just a good time, except replies from one person. And that is Tipster. And that sucks because I normally abide by the fat guy code where fat guys tend to leave other fat guys alone if we can. But Tipster drew first blood, and I'm going Rambo on his ass.
They drew first blood, not me.
Tipster saw my video talk about Sweet BB Incorporated and decided to post some clips from it, basically saying
God damn it, bro. Is he going to read out this whole fucking tweet again? I can't listen to it.
That I was now on the alt-right grift. And I wonder why someone like Tipster would think that of me. Well, it's classic projection. And if you watch this video by Turkey Tom...
Yes, dude. Dude, this entire fucking drama, is just... it's just Tipster taking points from Turkey Tom's video on Boogie and using them against him. And then it's Boogie taking talking points from Turkey Tom's Tipster video and using them against him. Dude, they're literally... This is insane.
which I'm going to highlight chunks of here, but also link it down below. You get an idea of the type of person that Tipster is. Specifically, Tipster is someone who tried to be a video game YouTuber and failed at that, then joined the commentary community and got kicked out of that community. So now instead he grifts the Rainbow Coalition and is also failing.
By the way, it makes sense. Dude, have you guys ever noticed that, like, anyone who's ever drank a blue Mountain Dew before has just been the fattest motherfucker alive? I don't think I've ever seen a skinny dude drink a blue Mountain Dew.
That. Now, the reason I'm making this video is to talk about this live stream where Tipster had to go live last night for 45 minutes to talk about what an anti-woke grifter he thinks I've become. Spoiler alert, I'm no grifter. I just think sometimes it's right to call out bad people.
Are you though, Boogie? Are you? Come on, buddy. Come on.
For doing bad things. And if I'm in the company of
you've
people like,
been, yeah, at the very least, you've grifted in the past, okay? Come on. Let's not cope.
Asmongold, while I'm doing it, I feel pretty comfortable doing it. So
Asmongold is also fucking Down syndrome, though. Come on. Come on.
I like some
Boogie.
of the things that Tipster
Let's
had
not
to
appeal
say
to authority when the authority literally has cockroaches crawling over him during streams, okay?
This live stream and give my opinions.
He's saying like Alan Wake 2, God of War, Ragnarok, Spider-Man 2. He's saying these games were too big to fail. But
dude, I'm sorry. This is just irreasonably funny to me. I don't know why. It just made me chuckle. Look at him. What? Dude, I hate that it's not just like click. He's got the same shirt on? That's crazy.
He's talking about how like Suicide Squad was a stinker, which I hear it is a pretty bad game.
I don't know, Tipster. What do you think Spider-Man 2, Alan Wake 2, and God of War 2 have in common? It's the number 2. Those video games are sequels to very well-loved games that had very little politics in them and a shitload of fun. The industry knows that's a really
this is literally what I said earlier, that, like, dude, Tipster is, like, actually Down syndrome.
So politics down your throats because you're going to buy it anyway, so it's a good time to get you to sit down and listen to a lecture.
This is literally just about being treated poorly by Anita Sarkeesian at VidCon. So he was speaking out against, like, Gamergaters at the time, right? And now he's decided he wants to join them.
I don't know. I always felt I beat Anita Sarkeesian there because I got invited back to VidCon the next year, and she didn't. Also,
damn, fucking owned.
My dream girl and Anita just celebrated her birthday party by having a fake wedding. So
dude, Boogie is out for blood, bro. No way. Dude, somebody would have had to have ghost wrote this script as well, bro. Like, he's literally out for blood.
I feel like I'm winning. And no, that panel wasn't about Gamergate. It was about online harassment, which can come from people on the right or the left or even the middle. And if Gamergate 2.0 comes out to being some sort of harassment campaign, I will distance myself from the harassment, but I'll still say the video games are supposed to be fun. Liking fun video games and thinking they shouldn't be taken over by identity politics isn't harassment. You have to be an extra kind of stupid to think that I'm aligning myself with terrorists just because I'm sharing that opinion.
Hey guys, it's me, Francis.
So true. Why is he playing this?
And you know, last time this Gamergate thing happened all those years ago, I'm gonna side with all the racists and the Nazis and stuff like that because they seem to think I'm a really cool guy.
I don't even know where to start with that other than the fact that he genuinely thought he was doing something there. And it's really great that he's that stupid. It is nice to see him just admitting that he thinks that if you like fun video games and you don't want to be pandered to in those games, that you are a racist and a Nazi. And it's awesome to see him own that.
Anybody who knows me in my audience knows that I do not.
Okay, to be fair, he's saying that, like, you're siding with them. You're siding with them. But it's also just a retarded argument because sometimes racists and Nazis, they're correct, okay? That's just a simple fact. Racists and Nazis are correct occasionally, okay? I know it's unfortunate. I know it's hard to get your little head wrapped around, Boogie, but they are correct occasionally.
Overused terms like, you know, racists and Nazis.
Racists and the Nazis.
And by now, you all know these are just buzzwords they use when they don't have a valid argument against the fact that video games should be fun. These people just do not understand that video games for us is a form of escapism to escape real-world politics, and we're not here to pay $70 to be lectured to.
You know, when I was showing my quote tweet, right?
By the way, whoever... video games being $70 nowadays, you don't even get a physical copy. It's literally an online version. $70 fucking dollars should be illegal. Whoever made I don't know, dude. Like, Joseph Biden could potentially be held responsible. Okay, whoever made the shift from $60 games to $70 games should be publicly executed.
It's because Boogie couldn't handle my criticism. He couldn't handle the fact that
Biden's America.
I block everybody on Twitter almost for no reason. People seem to like it when I do it. They wear it as like a badge of honor. Oh, look, Boogie blocked me. And also, I don't have to deal with their bullshit. But Tipster, that's not why I blocked you. I blocked you because you were a disgusting, depraved human being. It was just last month you were defending drawn photos.
I mean, it's so funny hearing Boogie say this, right? But it's also just true. Like, it's just true that he's disgusting and depraved.
Photos of child pornography, and that just irks me in the worst way humanly possible. Your only online friend left is Keffels, and she threw you under the bus because you were defending child pornography. I may not be Mr. Rogers, but at least I don't have a...
But to be fair, she didn't throw him under the bus because he was defending child pornography, okay? She was fine with that. She agreed with all that stuff. She threw him under the bus because she can't accept accountability for her own actions, and she was like, oh, well, it's actually Tipster's fault I'm in all this drama because, like, he said it first, and I just kind of agreed with him because I'm like a retarded bitch. Lol.
History of both harassing online e-girls as well as online trans women. You call me a grifter because I broke my silence on this whole video game topic. You're the one who left the commentary community to go fleece the LGBTQ. You want to warn me about aligning myself with the right. Well, you know what?
True.
It's not something I plan to do. I just want to align myself with people who like video games, and there's plenty of people on the left that do
So
that.
good,
But you're
man.
choosing to ally yourself with the left and only the left, excluding anybody that happens to be in the middle or the right, and that's a really bad plan for you. The reason you're failing at everything you're trying to do right now is because you're trying to appeal to the left, but you're such a vile, disgusting person that even they don't want to have anything to do with you. Regurgitating the left's talking points can only get you so
Dude,
far.
this
And when
is
somebody
so
on the left
banger.
finds
What
out
the
that you
fuck?
harass women or defend child porn, they don't want to have anything to do with you. I'm not here to talk about the left or the right or anything in the middle. I'm just talking about video games and people being informed whether or not a certain company worked on it so they can choose whether or not to spend their hard-earned money on that. And why is that difficult for you to understand? Because, Tipster, it's exactly people like you that I'm trying to avoid when it comes to video games. People who preach tolerance in one hand and attack everyone they can on the other. People defending child pornography. People harassing women. You are the exact kind of person I play video games to get the hell away from, and I don't want your politics in my video games. And that should be okay, I think. I'm not trying to appeal to the right or Nazis or any of that shit. I'm just speaking what I believe to be true. The video game should be fun. And I think it's...
Yeah, it's like Tipster is so fucking brain rotted that like he's like fully in team sports tribalistic mode where it's like if you disagree with him at any point, you're the enemy. You're on the opposite side, okay? Like that's like the brain mode he's in.
So sad and sick that you can't see that. I don't have problems with anybody on the left or the right as long as they're not extremists. And if you're an extremist, you can go fuck yourself. At the end of the day, I'm not trying to appeal to anybody other than the fact that some people like video games and some people want them to remain fun and some people don't want motherfuckers fucking with that. And if you're an extremist, go fuck yourself. And if you're not an extremist, well, you can come join that. And let's play some video games together. Helldivers 2 is pretty good, and the new Final Fantasy has been really great so far.
Yeah, actually, Helldivers 2 is a good example of like a woke video game that's actually just good, okay? Like there's all these like underlying themes of like anti-colonialism, nationalism or whatever, anti-imperialism. But like all that it just makes sense within the story and it's not like shoved down your throat, right? It's like it just makes sense, okay? It just makes sense. It's not like, oh, we have to go liberate the gay trans people from the evil corporation in this fucking planet. You know, there's none of that, okay? It all just makes sense. That's why that's good.
Tipster, now I'm done with you, and I'm going to go back.
Jesus
to watching
Christ,
your
my
videos. I don't
chair
want
is
you
fucked.
accidentally retweeting lolly
I really
porn
need
on
a
my
new one.
timeline because you've done that. You've done that, and I don't
never
want to
will,
see
though.
it.
I'm
I
too
rarely
greedy
choose to make videos like this.
and
I
poor.
rarely choose to respond, and when I do, I always try to keep some decorum. But you deserve none of it. You are down to the
W,
last
holy
shred of internet
shit.
dignity that you had left, and that person's name was Keffels, and even she can't stand you. I'm done with you too. As always, thanks for watching. I love you very much, and I will speak with you again.
Love you too, Boogie. I've always had a soft spot for Boogie, bro. Even though he's like a retarded liar, like all the time, you just can't help but hate him, or you can't help but not hate him. Okay.